All right, and we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the very first release team meeting of the 117 Kubernetes release. Before we get started, let me remind everyone that we are under a code of conduct. Please treat everyone with excellence, be kind to each other, and enjoy hanging out together and working on this project. My name is Guinevere Sanger. This being our very first meeting, this is basically leads only, although I do believe some lead shadows are here as well. Hi, George. And I wanted to just kind of take this meeting to introduce ourselves. Everybody go around the room, introduce themselves, say who they are, say where they live, and what they work on, what you hope to be working on in this release, and your favorite breakfast food. Let's see. That way, when you introduce yourself and you have any questions, we can discuss that as well. So if everybody could kind of pull up the agenda, and we can actually just go around in the order that we will go for current for releases in the future. Please write your name down in the attendance list. And the first update traditionally is enhancements. So I think what I'm going to go ahead, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to introduce myself first, and then you all can see, and then we'll go down the list as it is in the agenda. Let's do that. So, again, my name is Guinevere Sanger. I live in Seattle. I work from home for GitHub, where I do a lot of Kubernetes shipping related things. My hope in this release is to make sure we have a really solid, stable release to end 2019 with. That is my main goal. I think those goals will become more refined as we look down the list of enhancements that the SIGs want to get in. Let's see, what else? My favorite breakfast food is cinnamon rolls, and I hope to, one of my hopes is that I am somewhat meeting averse, and I want to make sure that our meetings stay efficient and to the point. Enhancements.
Okay, my mute button isn't working quite right. Anyway, hi, I'm Bob Killen. I'm a research cloud administrator for the University of Michigan. I used to work with Jeff, who is on my screen sort of like over there, who is now a release lead shadow. With me, my favorite breakfast food is coffee. I don't know if that counts, but I generally don't eat breakfast. I just drink coffee. My goals for this release is to make sure enhancements go off without a hitch. We are kind of under a crunch with all the various deadlines, or the other events like KubeCon and the various holidays. And I also want to improve some of the various like sheet automation and things like that.
Awesome. Let's see, next. Oh, by the way, before I forget, if you all are have the agenda open, if you could, in the parentheses after your update title, add your GitHub username and your Slack handle, just so we know who you are every single time. Name, GitHub user handle, and Slack handle. Kind of like Bob just did. All right, next is CI signal.
Okay, hi, I'm Alina. I'm the lead for the CI signal this iteration. I'm from Czech Republic, Prague actually, so Europe. So even though you guys are starting your days, it's like 6 p.m. for me already. So, so that's pretty fun. I work for Mesosphere. Oh, sorry, D2IQ. We rename each other. So I used to work on Mesos, and now I work actually on Kubernetes on some stuff around controllers. And yeah, for this iteration, I would definitely, so last iteration, I started to work on automation around the reports. with the motivation to basically add like the automation will allow me to add like more content into the reports that's going to be like valuable for the community. So I would like to like push for that in this iteration. And yeah, keep the build green. My favorite breakfast food is strawberry oatmeal. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. Elena, if you could put down your name in next to the CI signal update on the agenda for today. Let's see. Bug triage. Let's see who's doing bug triage. Let me pull up that. I think somebody's in. Oh, that's right. Josiah said he couldn't be there today, but we will meet him next time. Then we have docs.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Damini. I work for Salesforce and I do a lot of infrastructure automation internally. So this release, I will be taking care of documentation. Really excited. And what I really want to focus on is train the shadows really well, like make sure they get involved in everything, and at the same time make sure we get in quality documentation for every enhancement. And coming to my favorite breakfast, it's dosa. I don't know how many of you know about it. It's something like Indian version of crepe. So yeah, that's all.
Those are really, really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Nice to meet you. Let's see who's next. Release notes.
Yeah, so that's me. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris. I'm a senior. Our titles here are very, very long. Senior developer, systems developer integrator with the City of Ottawa. I'm coincidentally also in the City of Ottawa. And yeah, so my favorite breakfast food right now, I'm on for a several year kick, peanut butter cinnamon raisin bagels. And if I can get a hold of it, some variety of smoked salmon and cream cheese bagel. Great. So my goals for this cycle, keep on automating all the things to do with the release of the release notes. So try to minimize all that manual tweaking and editing, making sure we don't miss anything. Things are working as smoothly as possible, and keeping the lights green as often as possible. And learning as much as I can. So.
Excellent. Awesome. And then we have comms.
Hi there, I'm David McKay, although I will accept David McKay if you wish. I am from Scotland, a town called Glasgow. My favourite breakfast is black pudding. I don't know how popular that is around the world, but I'm a huge fan of black pudding. And my goals for this, I mean, I'm very fortunate that the comms leads for the last two were George and Taylor, and they've done a great job. So my goal is not to mess it up and make any minor improvements that I can. So nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, our esteemed release branch manager.
Hey everyone, I am Stephen Augustus. I have a few hats here. The SIG release chair. I'm also a branch manager for this cycle at VMware and based in New York. I am a senior cloud native architect at VMware. So I help customers implement Kubernetes and cloud native solutions. My favorite breakfast foods, I'm going to steal a bunch of yours. So a lox Benedict is pretty dope. A peanut butter and strawberry sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese, jack cheese, and yeah. So I think my goals for this cycle are to continue some of the release engineering work that we've been doing. We've been working on building up the release managers group, right? So that's the group that's composed of the patch release team, the branch managers, the release manager associates. So you'll see some new associates starting to hang out on the call soon. We also have a branch manager promotion. So Carlos Panato, who has been working on, who's been super active and always eager to help. We're promoting him from release manager associate up to branch manager this cycle. So he'll be shadowing me in that role. And then also, I would like to rewrite a bunch of the tools that we currently have in Go and migrate over to CNCF apt and yum repos. So.
Yay, thanks, Stephen. Nice to meet you. We have our emeritus lead.
Hello, I'm Claire. I'm the emeritus lead for this release. I am a senior technical program manager at Pivotal Software in New York. My goals for this cycle are to help set up all of y'all to be successful leads and to set up shadows to be very successful and with their mentorship funness. And my favorite breakfast food is, if I'm trying to be healthy, a smoothie or acai bowl. If I don't care about health, a bagel with scallion cream cheese, and specifically New York bagels because they're the best.
I heard these. I heard this as a fact. I have never tried them there because
Proven fact.
I believe you all. Fabulous. Let's see. Oh, next is me. I kind of already gave my introduction, so I believe that is everyone's introduction on the team. That's great. Then I was going to go over I was going to have some time for people to ask some questions. I'm going to get used to talking to you all on video at all times, like I've done it all my life. So that'll be great. So this is the first week of the release. We're having a short release cycle this time. And when I say short release cycle, we still have all the 12 weeks as they will show up in your handbooks. That will remain the same. However, we're starting sooner than other releases this year have started post the previous release date. The reason for this is that I would like for everybody to have a relaxed end of the year, to be able to coordinate across holidays, and unfortunately, specifically the US Thanksgiving holiday, which tends to slow down code review across the project, regardless of whether you live and work in the US or not. There's also KubeCon the week before US Thanksgiving, so both of those things we'll have to really stay watchful and play with. What this means for enhancements is to make sure enhancements are well scoped, and what it means for enhancements and bug triage is to really make sure that people stay on top and that you stay on top of tracking whether people are in fact promising to delivering what they promised, even though it is KubeCon week. Just kind of look forward, look at the schedule, compare it with the real world schedule a bit, just to see whether this is in fact a thing that can be done. We might wind up with fewer enhancements in this cycle, and that is okay because we want a stable release.
So we had an idea that only got hashed out on Twitter and not officially in any real venue, huh?
Just kidding.
Of no release. Congratulations, everyone. No, of a stability release, and this is something that we tried to do. Something that we didn't do. I think our question of stability, or our like how we gauge what stability is, isn't well defined just yet. But I guess a question for the class, like, does that sound like something that could be feasible that we would potentially want to do? Where some of the ideas could be, you can only improve test coverage or graduate features that already exist, or enhancements that already exist, as opposed to introducing new changes. Like, I don't know, can we even do it?
Honestly, I think on some level that is, if I were a SIG, I would want more lead time on hearing this, number one. Number two, kind of related to number one, if there is a feature that like almost made it into 117, I think we should let it into 116. I think we should let it into 117. So
No, that's fine. That's fine. My first concern, because like Tim Hawken brought this up on Twitter, and my first response was, you need more time to turn like the product ship internally for a bunch of people, as well as just figure out what kind of gates we can put in place to make that happen. So I would like to see it happen, but I know it's not realistic.
No, I would like to see it happen too. I think I just don't know that we can say it happens right now because people are already working on things that are new features, I would expect. I mean, if they're not, then, hey, great. But I think this is something that we as a team should consider when we talk to the SIGs, when we collect enhancements, when we look over bug fixes. It's really more of a like, if somebody files an exception, I'm gonna get it in, I promise. And it's like, okay, so the next 2 weeks are KubeCon and then Thanksgiving. Are you sure?
Like, are you sure?
Really sure though? So that kind of thing, we can definitely afford to be very strict with people. And if somebody complains, honestly, I would say I would remind them that really we're just trying to make sure that everyone is, not stressing out. There's a lot going on. We just want to make sure to not overburden people. Does that seem reasonable? Fair?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Doesn't mean we don't want people to do work. Just
do the. It comes up every year, so maybe for 2020, we'll try to plan this like at least 6 months in advance.
Yeah, that would be something that SIG release should really put on their agenda, and then
consider it done.
Hi. I mean, on our agenda. As Tim likes to remind me, the release team is a sub-project of SIG release. So, all right. So the next thing, the things that I'm going to do this week is update this spreadsheet, and I encourage everybody to start looking over their handbooks and start filling in the next and start working towards their item on next week's agenda so that we can start tracking enhancements and just starting some of this work. If there's questions, please always feel free to talk to me, to ask for help, to reach out in the release team, in SIG release channel. I have a release team leads chat group. We can chat there. We have a lot of collective knowledge. I might not have all the answers. I probably don't have all the answers, but I might know where to get them. So are there at this point any questions, any concerns, any more open items?
Open item, but it can probably wait.
Mention what it is. How about
massive sweep of the whatchamacallit, all of the no, not the handbooks. Those are coming in, and I that's awesome to see. So if you are on the call and I guess a previous lead or someone who is generally interested in the way the handbooks are structured, there are a bunch of handbook open PRs right now that could definitely use additional eyes if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah, refining the handbook. And I think everybody on this team is an excellent reviewer candidate, because if it's not clear to you who's currently going to do this role, then you must ask for clarification and it'll make for a better doc.
So we also have a bunch of SIG release team updates, which are linked in the open discussion piece. That PR is open. Basically, this is the quarterly or releasely update to each of the GitHub teams. I've already rolled the owners files for SIG release and the release repo. The next updates that are happening is basically rotating the 115 team, removing a few people from release engineering, updating the milestone maintainers. So all the milestone maintainers that are either current SIG chairs or release SIG chairs or technical leads, or specially appointed release milestone maintainers, or people who are on the current release team have all been added in that PR. The SIG release GitHub team, which is like the global ping team, has been updated to include the 116 leads. And I think those are the ones of interest to y'all, at least, yeah. Bob, you should have access to do that. If you don't, let me know. What it was adding milestones for 120 and 121.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have access to do that, let me know.
I should. I can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I wasn't muted. I'm sorry, everyone. All right, really cool. I am super excited to be shipping this release with all of you all. Unless there's any final talks, let's spend this week getting acquainted with our roles, reading our role handbooks, reviewing PRs on the role handbooks, and getting started on our tasks. Reach out, help each other, work asynchronously, since we're spread across the globe, which is fantastic. I love it.
So there was a piece of feedback from the current exit surveys. So one, bump the shadow application. The shadow application closes at the end of this week. So if you're interested in, like, we have, what is it, 48 people right now, Claire? So we've got a bunch already, but shadow applications close, or no, this Wednesday. Okay, never mind. Never mind. But also, so yeah, the piece of feedback was essentially a discussion about doing more asynchronous updates. And figuring out how to do that, whether it's sending a report or something. And that's something that someone had mentioned from the exit survey. So.
Yeah, I'll spend some time thinking about that. Also, please reach out to me if this meeting time doesn't work. It seems to have worked fairly well for people on the last release. Certainly better than an hour later, but I do know that several of you are at the end of your days, and some of you are in like the middle of the late in the evening. So please reach out if there's something that we can do, or if this time really doesn't work for you. I will try to address those, but asynchronous updates are definitely an option that we want to do more of, especially given my goals of let's make meetings efficient. Thank you.
And just to add what Stephen had mentioned, that the shadow survey is open until Wednesday. After this call, I'll give all the leads access to the results that we have for the shadow survey. It does close on Wednesday, with the hopes that y'all can pick and reach out to your shadow so they can join the call next week on Monday.
Yep. next meeting we'll have shadow introductions. So that'll be fun. Lots of people. Awesome. It was a super great meeting, everybody. Thanks again. And with that, I will give you back 30 minutes of your Monday. Bye.